Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the ODA in law class. Um, we are in the Korea and we are checking the Korean domestic laws regarding the Korean International Development Cooperation project. Um, Today we will see the bit different domestic rules under the philosophy of the fundamental rules. The previous lectures we talked about the Framework Act of Korean ODA works. Then under this philosophy, many Korean domestic rules are regulating the Korean ODA activities. So today we will see some examples of the Korean domestic laws regarding their ODA activities. Okay, so in part one we will see the KOICA law. Yes, KOICA is a kind of symbol of Korean ODA works. But please remember that not just KOICA, many kind of governmental branches, governmental agencies, they are working the Korean ODA. Well, however, KOICA is the biggest agency on the ODA works. And also, the KOICA, their main role is focused on the International Development Cooperation. So, the KOICA, these governmental agency is funded by the Korean government, of course, and this is the how can I say symbol, example of Korean ODA. Yeah, Korea was one of the poorest countries in the world and major target of ODA in 1950s and 60s and even and 70s, 80s. However, then around late of 1980s and early of 1990s, the KOICA and the Korean government started their donation to help the developing countries. And then KOICA became the major hand for that jobs. Yes, so KOICA is the major agency of the Korean government regarding their international development cooperation activities. Yes, they have, Korean society have Framework Act, as we know, and then the Framework Act provide the mainstream or a kind of sketch of Korean plan regarding international development works. And then under the plan or under the sketch, details can be done by each governmental bodies. And then KOICA is the symbol of this work. KOICA, their work are based on the legal fundamental things. So they have their own law, that is KOICA Act. So in part one, we will see the KOICA Act. Right. KOICA is the bilateral grant aid and technical cooperation agency. So their work are focused on this area. As we checked before, ODA project can be done by several ways. Among them, grant aid, especially bilateral grant aid. I mean, from donor country to their partners, developing country, directly to under their negotiation and their talk. The donor country can provide the free money to the developing countries, recipient nations, by two partners, that is bilateral grant aid style. And then this is very unconditional things. And also donor country can provide not just money, but also a kind of technical assistance, and providing specialist or expert on the certain area. That is the technical cooperation. If the donor country provide the expert or information or technology directly to the developing partner countries, then it is bilateral technical cooperation. So, COICA, their major role is focused on these areas: bilateral grant aid, technical cooperation to the developing countries. Okay, so they are doing various types of programs, but these programs are bilateral grant aid project or technical cooperation project. Yes, therefore, the COICA law, COICA Act will provide those kind of regulations. That means COICA cannot provide, loans to the developing countries. Providing loans to developing country is not the job of COICA. It is, the job of Korea Exim Bank. So different. Of course, we can call that ODA project together. Everything is under the boundary of Korean ODA activities. However, but there are different styles. Okay, let's see the COICA. COICA was established in 1991. You can understand that early of 1990s is the kind of starting point of Korean ODA assistant activities, because COICA was established in the early of 1990s. So since 1990s, we can say that since 1990s, Korea started their work as a donor country to help other developing world. Based on the COICA Act, this is the Korean domestic laws. COICA Act, based on these legal provisions, they established the COICA. COICA is Korea International Cooperation Agency, which is under the control of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So, and then therefore we can call COICA as the government agency for developing ODA works, development cooperation efforts of Korea. COICA is their function is core of ODA activities. So, COICA, we cannot talk Korean ODA activities without COICA. So their major activities are focused on the grant aid project or technical cooperation with developing countries. they always think about that. How can we maximize the effectiveness of Korean ODA works? They always try to squeeze their brains how to improve the effectiveness of Korean ODA works. Based on their experience, Korean experience, yeah, what is the specialty of Korean experience regarding ODA works? Yes, Korea was one of the major target country in the international communities, yeah, of ODA activities, because there was poorest country, but they overcame their situation, their status into the donor country. Therefore, it is very hard to find out those kind of models. So, KOICA, they want to share their experience with developing country, saying that, oh, you can do that, like me. Right. So KOICA, they are the symbol of Korean ODA project based on their experience, Korean experience, yeah. And their major activities are focused on the grant aid activities or technical cooperation project. Right. KOICA is the governmental branch, governmental agency. So they have to use the governmental budget, public budget, official budget. Therefore, we can call their activity as official development assistance to developing countries. Therefore, KOICA is the ODA agencies using public budget, official budget from tax from the Korean citizens. When we use the tax or budget, public budget, we have to have legal basis. Therefore, they made the KOICA Act as a Korean domestic law to use the public budget for Korean ODA works. So KOICA Act, the KOICA Act provide the several legal points, the fundamental purpose or functions of KOICA, and organizations of KOICA, the governmental agency, and the legal status of KOICA, and their works as the Korean ODA area, and the fund, money for their budget. These important points can be clearly regulated by the KOICA Act. Therefore, KOICA can use their budget for developing countries. And then, the Korean citizens, they permit the KOICA can use their tax. This is the a very important point. Korean law, domestic law, permit the KOICA as a governmental agency to use their budget. And then they can justify themselves why they can use the public money from the tax. So, the KOICA Act can be related to the other Korean domestic rules, such as, fundamental Korean ODA fundamental rules, that is, Framework Act. And also other Korean ODA related rules together. Okay? So, the Framework Act is the highest level, and then under their philosophy, this is the kind of stepping stone to make the mainstream of the Korean ODA activities. And then, under this philosophy, KOICA Act and other Korean ODA related rules can regulate details. KOICA Act regulate KOICA works, yes, of course. And then, they have these rules have the relations together, So, in relation with other Korean domestic laws and the international agreement, of course, KOICA Act, they can, regulate Korean ODA work, especially KOICA. Okay, let's see the KOICA Act. When we see the details of the each article, then we can understand the works of KOICA and the organization of KOICA and their legal status and then their fund. From Article 1, purpose, definition, legal personality, establishment, and their offices, and the project, etc. And then, please focus on the yellow words, underlined one. Then we can understand the important point. Article 1 provided why they made these KOICA Act. For what? And then Article 3 provided that KOICA has their legal personality. What does mean that the legal personality? In the perspective of law, if a certain subject has legal personality, that means they can do some legal activities which is treated as legally justified, legally proved, legally permitted. For example, they can make contract under the name of KOICA. Even though some officers can make the contract, with the signature, but the effect to be done by under the name of KOICA. So KOICA has a legal personality. Who made KOICA? Korean government. But how can you justify the establishment of KOICA? Who permitted the establishment of KOICA? President of Korea? No. Korean people, citizens, permitted the establishment of KOICA. How? Yes, Korean citizens, they made KOICA Act and Article number 4. Article 4, they regulated that. By this article, KOICA can be established. And they have offices as well. And they will do the Korean ODA works for the developing country or international communities based on their Korean experiences. And then Article 7 provided KOICA can do some project, the characteristics of their project. Except these areas, these boundaries, KOICA cannot do anything using the budget. So only the permitted activities, permitted project under the Article 7 of KOICA Act, KOICA, they can use their budget. And then the other articles, executives, ground for the executives, and then duties of executive, yeah. Those kind of things are related to the structure or organization of the COICA body. Article 12, Board of Directors as well, yeah. And then they will have the officers, the workers, employees by in the COICA structure, yeah. So their roles and their duties, obligations, and their functions can be regulated by these articles. Article number 14, dispatch of public officials. That means to do the Korean ODA work in the developing country, for example, the COICA must send their officers to the developing country, for example. So Article 14, dispatch of public officials, provide these legal basis. Article 15, operating fund. Yeah, this is very important point. COICA used the Korean public budget, which is based on our tax. Yeah, I paid a lot of tax per year. And then some part of my tax, my money, to be moved to COICA. And then the COICA officers, they will use the tax, the budget. So the fund of COICA, the fund of COICA to be moved from Korean government, which is based on my tax, your tax. Yes. So how can we operate the fund, the COICA fund, to be very important point. Yeah, COICA must justify the use of their money to Korean citizens. So the legal basis of that point to be Article 15 of COICA Act. And the other thing, contributions, gratuities, loans, state property, borrowing of fund, those kind of things is they are related to the operation of their fund. Okay, let's see the other point. The other things and the Article 24, entrustment of authority, and the other things, and affiliated institutions, they are these articles are related to the functions and obligation of the staff of COICA. What they have to do and what cannot to do for under their role. So officers or staff in the COICA can do something and cannot do something. Who can decide the boundary of their role? Yes, these articles make the kind of boundary, and then staff must fulfill these the standards of under these articles. All right, and then so the other articles or the provisions are related to these things. Or for example, duty of confidentiality and the ban on use of the similar titles. The other things. So COICA or the staff can use the name of COICA, and then other governmental agency or just the legal other legal persons or the company or the individuals cannot use the name of COICA without permission of COICA. All right? And then the other things. All right. Let's see the details of the some important articles. Article 1 provides the purpose of COICA, and then let's see the underlined paragraphs. the purpose of this act is to contribute to the promotion of international cooperation. Yes, this is the final goal of COICA. For that goal, what they can do, perform various cooperative projects, that is ODA project, in order to promote the friendly and cooperative relationship and mutual exchange between Korea and developing countries. So the partners of COICA activity must developing country. Okay? Therefore, we can say that this is the ODA project. This is the assisting development country. Okay? And assist the economic and social development of developing countries. So, COICA's partners must, the government or the countries of developing level. Please remember that. Okay, the development of Korean ODA with COICA. When we see the articles, then we can understand this point. In the changing international trend, the trend of international communities are very changeable. So, COICA must follow, the trend. The harmonization with the trend, international trend, the mainstream regarding the ODA activities, is very important for the Korean society. If the mainstream is in this way, but Korean ODA policies are this direction, is not harmonious. As a member of international communities, Korea must follow the international trend. So they must think about what is their international trend. They are changeable. So they have to follow, they have to see the international trend. So COICA, their work must be harmonized with these international trend, following the needs of international trend. Okay, so what is international trend? Who will decide international trend? Yes, we don't know, but we can assume that, United Nations said something, then it can be related to their international trend, or OECD or the DAC, the committee sentenced something like that, then it can be related to their international trend. Therefore, COICA must think about that. What happens to their OECD or United Nations agencies, right? Therefore, international trend can be related to their COICA's activities. Okay, COICA Act is quite important for you. You don't have to see the details, every word of the COICA Act. However, you have to understand the structure of or core point of COICA Act. All right? This is the end of part 1. Okay, have a break time.